Hi everyone! Welcome to Other Rhythm at ngayong araw ay pag-aaralan natin ang logic formulation. So ano nga ba ang logic formulation? Logic formulation is the process of turning real-world problems into a clear step-by-step instructions that a computer can understand. So by the end of this video, malalaman natin kung paano nga ba nakakatulong ang logic sa paggawa ng algorithms and programs.
So again, ang pag-aaralan natin ay logic formulation. Pero bago yun, alamin muna natin ang ating learning outcomes for today's video. Number 1, discuss the program logic formulation. Number 2, identify and explain each step involved in the programming cycle. So mamaya malalaman natin ano ba yung mga programming cycle na yan. Number 3, explain the use of algorithm. Number 4, determine the procedure of pseudocode. Number 5, recognize the use of each flowchart symbol. And lastly, number 6, illustrate and design flowcharts. So first, let's start with computer program. So ano nga ba ang computer program? Base sa ating presentation, ang computer program is a set of instructions written in a programming language that tells a computer what to do. So nakasulat dito, no? It is a set of instructions written in a programming language. So ano nga ba ang programming language? Programming language is a special language that is used to give instructions to computers so it can do tasks. Okay? So, think of it like this, guys. Kung tayo mga tao ay nagkipag-usap tayo sa kapwa natin tao sa pamamagitan ng paggamit nating mga sariling wika, Filipino, English, or kahit Spanish. Sa computer naman, ay gumagamit tayo ng programming languages. Halimbawa ng mga programming languages, Python, Java, JavaScript, C++, C Sharp, at marami pang iba. So, ang programming language, guys, is just a way to communicate with computers and tell them exactly what to do. Ang programming language ang nagbibigay ng instruction sa ating mga computers. Okay, next naman natin. Ayan, example of a computer program. So, Microsoft Word. It follows instructions to let you create, edit, and save text documents. Google Chrome. It processes user commands like typing a website and display web pages according to program instructions. Spotify. It is programmed to search, stream, and play music when you choose songs. So, ilan lang to sa mga halimbawa ng computer program. Maaaring gumagamit ka ng computer program pero hindi ka aware na isa itong computer program. Alright, so next slide naman tayo. Programming cycle. So, nakasulat dito guys, programming cycle. Number 1 is the problem definition. Nakasulat dito, understand what the problem is and what needs to be solved. So, ang tatandaan nyo lang dito sa problem definition guys, ay itong tanong na to. What does the program need to do? Ano ang kailangan gawin ng ating program para masolusyonan kung ano ang dapat solusyonan? Number 2, problem analysis. Study the problem and find what information is needed and what result is expected. Number 3, algorithm development. Write the step-by-step plan like a recipe to solve the problem. Number 4, coding and debugging. Translate the algorithm into a programming language. So tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, no, programming languages, ang example nito ay Python, Java, or C++. At kasama rin sa coding and debugging, syempre ang pag-debug. Ang pag-debug guys ay ito yung hanapin natin ang error sa ating code. Pag hanap natin ang ating error sa ating code, syempre, ang kailangan natin gawin ay ayusin natin ito. So, sa simpleng salita guys, base dito sa ating presentation, no, ang programming cycle guys, ito ang step-by-step process of defining a problem, planning a solution, coding it, testing it, and then maintaining the program. Okay, so ang next slide naman natin ay algorithm. So, algorithm, sabi dito sa presentation, an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure or a set of rules for solving a problem or completing a task. So, isipin nyo siya na para siyang recipe, guys. So, kapag nagluluto tayo, meron tayong sinusundan na recipe. Dahil, pag sinunod natin ang recipe na iyon, ay makukuha natin ang expected result or kung ano man yung gusto nating lutuin. 'Di ba? So, parang algorithm lang din siya. Ang tatandaan nyo sa algorithm, guys, ay ang step-by-step procedure. Dapat meron kang sinusundan simula umpisa hanggang dulo. At meron din tayong tinatawag na characteristics of an algorithm. Number 1, specify each step or instruction exactly. So, dapat yung mga step or process na ilalagay natin, dapat ito ay clear, madaling maintindihan, or madaling magawa. Number 2, there must be a finite number of steps. Finite, guys, so dapat merong umpisa at merong dulo. Number 3, there must be an output. Pag sinabi nating output, ito ang expected result or kung ano ang magiging resulta sa pagsunod natin sa ating algorithm. So, okay, next slide naman tayo. Pseudocode. Sabi dito, a pseudocode is a way of writing an algorithm in simple plain language that looks a bit like programming but it's not a real programming language. It's used to plan a program before actually coding it. So, sabi dito, no, pseudocode looks a bit like programming language but it's not a real programming language. Bakit siya hindi real programming language? Dahil sabi nga rin dito, pseudocode is a plain language. Kumbaga, hindi siya katulad ng programming language na meron ng syntax at pwede nang i-run sa computer. At ang pseudocode ay ginagamit lamang upang sa pagplano ng program bago talaga natin ito i-code gamit ang programming language. So, meron tayong example dito ng pseudocode. If student's grade is greater than or equal to 75, print pass, else print failed. So, makikita nyo sa first line natin, if student's grade is greater than or equal to 75. Ang first line natin, yan ang tinatawag natin na condition. Dahil gumamit tayo ng if. So, sabi dito, if student grade or kung ang iyong grado ay mas mataas o sakto lamang sa 75, print. Meaning, yan yung output natin. Print, pass. Ikaw ay pasado. Else. Ang ibig sabihin ng else ay false. So, di ba, dito sa ating first line, if. Laging ina-assume ng ating if statement na tama. So, kung tamang greater than or equal to 75 ang iyong grade, ang lalabas ay pasado ka. Kung hindi naman, else, ang lalabas ay failed ka. So, meron din akong hinanda dito na upang malaman nyo ano ba talagang pinagkaiba ng pseudocode and a real programming language. So, for programming language, I use Java. So, ulit. Dito sa ating example kanina sa pseudocode, if student grade is greater than or equal to 75, makikita nyo na nakasulat siya na parang English lang. Plain language, sabi nga kanina sa ating definition. Samantalang dito naman sa right side, sa Java, ay meron na tayong ginamitan na natin ito ng syntax or actual coding execution of the program. So, ang tandaan nyo lang guys, pinagkaiba ng programming language and pseudocode. Ang pseudocode cannot be understood by a computer, while programming language can be compiled and run by a computer. Okay, so next naman tayo, steps in problem solving. So first, produce a general algorithm. Yun nga, example natin kanina ng algorithm, pseudocode. Number 2, refine the algorithm successively to get step-by-step detailed algorithm that is very close to a computer language. Number 3, pseudocode is an artificial and informal language that helps programmers develop algorithms. Tulad nga sinabi ko kanina, pseudocode is very similar to everyday English. Hindi talaga siya ang code na naintindihan ng ating computer. Next naman ay ang flowchart. A flowchart is a diagram that shows the steps of an algorithm or process using different shapes and arrows. So, sa madaling salita guys, sa flowchart, gumagamit tayo ng shapes and arrows para mapakita ang step-by-step or process ng ating algorithm. Meron din tayong mga flowchart symbols. Flow lines, we use arrows to show the direction of data flow. Sa terminal block naman, we use ovals or rounded rectangles. And always remember, sa terminal block, dito natin lagi nilalagay ang start or end ng program. Next naman ay ang initialization block, used for declaring variables needed to solve a certain process. So dito sa example natin sa initialization block ay meron tayong variable at value. So ang ating variable dito ay ang x and ang ating value ay 15. Meron din tayo sa pang variable na y and the value of 30. Mamaya guys, makikita natin kung paano ba natin ito magagamit or paano tayo makakabuo ng isang buong flowchart gamit ang mga symbols na ito. So, next naman ay ang process block. Dito naman gumagamit tayo ng rectangle shape. Ang process block ginagamit natin for calculations, opening and closing files, and so forth. So, dito sa ating example, meron tayong variables. X equals y plus z, x equals 18, x equals a minus 2. Makikita nyo, gumamit tayo ng operators dahil sabi ko nga kanina, ang process block ay ginagamit for calculation. Next is the input-output block. We use the parallelogram para sa ating input and output. Then we also have the condition or decision block. We use the diamond shape. And always remember guys that in the condition block, the one exit action is when the resultant is true, and the other exit action is when the resultant is false. So as you can see in our example here, for example, we have a condition here, and to our left side we have the true, and for our right side we have the false. Then next naman, we have the on-page connector. For on-page connector, we use a small circle. It is used to connect 2 points on the same page. So kapag on-page connector ang ginamit natin guys, make sure na circle ang shape nito. Dahil meron din tayong isa pang connector na off-page connector, a pentagon shape symbol. Ginagamit naman natin ang pentagon or ang off-page connector kapag ang ating flowchart ay lagpas na sa isang page. And dito naman sa ating example, create a flowchart that displays your total money after receiving an extra 200. The algorithm should have a variable that is initialized to your current money. So, meron na rin akong hininda na sagot dito. Ayan. So first, lagi tayong magsisimula sa start dahil ito ang mag-indicate na magsisimula na ang ating program. Then, sabi dito sa instruction, the algorithm should have a variable that is initialized to your current money. So, dapat meron na tayong variable dyan na merong value kung ano ang pera natin bago tayo mabigyan ng extra 200 pesos. So, kita nyo, ginamit natin ang initialization block. And we have there the variable money equals 150. And then, we use the process block or the rectangle shape to calculate. Since sabi dito, kailangan nating i-display ang ating total money after receiving an extra 200 pesos. We use money equals money plus 200 pesos. And then lastly, we use the output block to display our money. And then after that, the program ends. So next slide naman natin ay meron tayong additional info about decision box. Nakasulat dito na ang condition na ilalagay natin sa loob ng condition box ay dapat ang sagot lamang ay either true or false. Nakalagay din dito na ang paglagay ng ating condition ay dapat laging naka-mathematical form. Hindi tatanggapin ng ating condition box kung ito ay naka-essay form. Next naman, meron tayong tinatawag na single alternative selection structure. Ang tatandaan nyo lang sa single alternative selection structure ay there is only a true condition. There is no false. If the condition is false, then the program just skips it and continues. Kung makikita nyo dito sa ating example, is x greater than 50? If true, then print x is greater than 50. If false, mag-i-skip siya, wala siyang output, diretso siya, and program. Next naman is dual alternative selection structure. Ito yung karaniwang ginagamit natin sa paggawa ng condition sa flowchart. Meron siyang dalawang results, true or false. Ito ginamit natin ang ating example kanina sa pseudocode. If grade is greater than or equal to 75, if true, then you pass. If false, then you failed. After that, the program ends. Then lastly, we also have the multiple decision boxes. Multiple decision boxes means you use more than one decision symbol to handle different condition. So in this case, gagamit tayo ng maraming diamond or conditional blocks para sa ating flowchart. So meron akong hinandang example dito. Create a flowchart that asks the user to enter a day number from 1 to 3. If the user put number 1, then our output should be Monday. If the user input number 2, then our output should be Tuesday. And if the user input number 3, then our output should be Wednesday. Otherwise, if they put a number like 0 or anything that is not in our condition, 1, 2, 3, then it will print invalid day. So as you can see in our flowchart, again, we start with the terminal block, the start. Then we use the initialization block inside the variable x equals 0. Then we use the input box in order for the user to input the day number. Then we use the condition or the diamond. Is x equals to 1? If yes, print Monday. So you see here, we use the output block, then end. If no, then magpo-proceed pa siya sa isang condition block. X equals 2. If yes, then print Tuesday. Tapos mag-end na. Pero kung x is not equals to 2, then magpo-proceed siya sa x equals 3. If yes, print Wednesday and program. At meron pa tayo ditong isa na no, di ba? Dahil sabi nga, otherwise, print invalid day. Ibig sabihin, kung may nilagay ang isang user na wala sa tatlong number na to, which is 1, 2, 3, for example, naglagay siya ng number 4, automatic na lalabas sa ating output ay invalid day at ang program ay mag-end na. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something from this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.